You're allowed to choose a format that fits your energy and still grow. I do not believe that if content is draining the life out of you, that you should push harder. Welcome to the Creative Bodega, a podcast about content marketing, Instagram growth, and personal branding for female service-based solopreneurs who want to grow their business without letting it take over their lives. I'm your host, Em Connors, and each week I'll share actionable tips, expert advice, and unfiltered truths to help you create engaging content, connect authentically with your audience, and turn followers into loyal customers, all without the burnout. If you're ready to simplify your content creation, navigate the ever-changing trends, and build a business that works for you while staying sane in this crazy season of life, then you're in the right place. All right, today we are talking about myth busting the algorithm and what really actually makes people follow, unfollow, or stop watching your content. And I'm really excited to dive into this. I actually just very randomly got an email from someone who said, I think you might find this report fascinating. And I was like, huh. And if you know me, my inbox is, if it's in my inbox, it's something that I still need to follow up with or do or refer back to. Otherwise, it's deleted or filed. So if you're in my inbox, it's a very special place. So I opened this email and I thought, I wonder what they're sharing with me. And what opened up was a page, a landing page from ManyChat. And it was a report titled From Algorithm Fatigue, a 2025 creator report. And clearly I was immediately interested because I have algorithm fatigue. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a business owner who doesn't. The amount of shifts in the algorithm in the past 5 years since I became a creator or a small business owner on Instagram is pretty mind blowing. And you got to have thick skin. And because in the heyday, back when I started in 2020, 2021, 2022, things were good. Like, the algorithm pushed me out and I got so many new followers. And now it is a slog. It is an uphill battle. And I actually feel sometimes that I am punished for having as many followers as I do. And I joke about it in my stories a lot that I'm going to start a new account and just start over. Because when I tell you I miss the days of having 10,000 followers, I really shit you not. Like, I remember when I had 10,000 followers. I remember when I reached that milestone and how proud I was. And remember, I don't do ads. So none of my growth I'm at like 124K right now. None of it is from ads. It is from just me, right? Putting myself out there and people finding me and following me. But I miss the engagement that I had when my account was smaller, and it just felt more intimate, and it felt more high touch, and that makes me feel good. And so anyways, it's algorithm fatigue. And first of all, I'm going to put this link in the show notes. It is a beautiful site landing page report to read. It's really cool. Basically, there's some icons across the top, like 8 of them, and you're kind of moving through those. But what you're moving through are actually like Instagram story size graphics with all these facts and figures on them. So it's a data backed pep talk that I'm coming in hot with today. And so many tell you like you're tired of guessing what the algorithm wants. And listen, like same. And I sort of read this report and it sort of felt like a permission slip to like stop chasing the trends and to really go all in on value and real connection. And that is what I have built the Creative Bodega on. I am never one to be like, here are the trends to try this week. You know what I mean? It's just not me. I don't love following trends. If anything, I'm hopping on some kind of real trend like once every other week, maybe. But otherwise, I always joke, can I just show up and teach? Like, that's what I love. That's what I want to do. I just want to share my knowledge and help people. I don't want to play the games. The games are exhausting. So I've really felt like this report validated a lot of what I've taught over the years, whether it's on my Instagram or in the Coven or in one of my signature courses, the messaging edit or the visual edit. So here's the plan. We're gonna bust some myths, right? Using numbers from this report. And I think it's gonna feel really good. Okay, so let's go. One of the biggest takeaways from the report is that people are really over like performancy content, like where you feel you're watching a full on performance. Instead, I think people want useful, they want honest, they want human content that respects their time. And if you've ever felt weird about clickbaity hooks or doing the most like dramatic intro ever, like you're not wrong in trusting that intuition. And this data I'm going to share has your back, which I think is so cool. So let's go. Myth number one, you need a long intro to hook people in. So that's just not true at all. The report actually asked, what makes you instantly stop watching a video? And the answer was super clear. 58% of people said it felt fake or scripted, and so they were out, right? 47% said because it has a slow intro. I am so guilty of that. 45% said it's overly clickbaity with the title or the hook or the headline. So it just was very obvious that it was clickbait, right? And clickbait's like a bait and switch. It's like somebody shows up on the reel and they're like, you guys, online courses are dead. But then they're like, not really. Like and they don't actually believe that. And they kind of explain why. But that hook was clickbait. You started watching because you thought that they were saying that online courses were dead when in fact they completely go back on what they said and explain their stance. So it's just kind of false advertising in a way to get people to stop scrolling. Because again, games, it's all games. And then 39% said low quality. So that's actually kind of low. Like people don't super care about your quality as long as there's, some decent lighting and we can see your face and you're in focus, like you're good, right? So if you've been spending like 30 seconds just trying to set the scene for your reels or apologizing for your hair or your makeup and then like finally getting to the point of your reel, almost half your audience is gone at that point. And again, I'm like raising my hand over here and reading this and I'm like, yeah, you gotta get better at that. So what's working instead is like leading with the answer. So instead of, so, hey guys, like I'm here. Today I'm going to share, 3 tips that really helped me after I blah, blah, like boring. Instead, you're like, you are losing clients because your bio says everything you do and nothing your client needs. Here is the quick 3-step fix. So leading with the answer. And I got to try this. I really got to lean into this. So that's number one. The myth is that you need a long intro. The truth is no. You just really need to make sure you're not fake. It's not scripted or we can't tell that it is. You don't have a slow intro and your title is not clickbaity. Otherwise, proceed. Myth number 2, follows come from flashy aesthetics or a perfectly polished feed. Could not be further than the truth. This report asked, what are the top reasons you hit follow? So meaning you choose to follow someone. 73%. And this is far and away the winner. The next one has 25%. There's nothing in between. 73%, you guys, said they post content I'll find consistently useful or entertaining. That made me want to jump for joy. So I couldn't agree more with this. Like I follow somebody when I find their information to be really useful, or I follow them because I think they're funny and it brings a smile to my face and lightens up my day. So I loved that answer. That's why people are going to follow you. But in our area of expertise, it's probably going to be more that they've found you consistently useful. And then it drops down to 25%. And that's just they feel relatable or real. 24% say their content's super high quality. So that's very low. 21% I like their personality. Like, again, 73% far and away the winner, consistently useful content. So that useful is doing the heavy lifting, right? And the quality matters, but not at the expense of the usefulness or the realness. So like your, office being lit perfectly is not a growth strategy. And it's really not 100% necessarily. Your usefulness is what is necessary and a non-negotiable. Okay, myth number 3, people unfollow you because you don't post enough. Get ready for this. I can hear the collective sigh of relief. Here are the top 5 reasons that people unfollow you. 27% said they seemed fake or inauthentic. There's a theme going on here where they want realness, they want authenticity, they do not want scripted, they do not want fake, they do not want inauthentic. Okay, so for sure, lean into who you are and be true to yourself. 14% said political views I disagree with. This is actually, I guess it's not that surprising. These past couple years have been insanely polarizing when it comes to the political climate. And a lot of creators are putting it out there and saying how they feel. Another reason someone unfollows, another 14% said too many ads or sponsored posts, and 10% said because they're constantly selling something. It's actually a pretty low percentage. I'm not going to lie, 10%. So the top winner there of why people unfollow is fake or inauthentic. So frequency, posting frequency did not make the list, you guys. What did? Feeling sold to all the time, content that feels fake or repetitive, or constantly selling. The lesson is here, like, you don't have to post more. You just have to post more meaningfully. And that is definitely something I teach and preach in all that I do, purposeful posting. Myth number 4, trends are the only way to grow your account. So I know a lot of people that are just seriously constantly hopping on trends. It's like their feed is just filled with trending reel ideas. And it's just not the only way to grow. So the report actually asks, what do you wish more creators would do? Meaning, like, what type of content do you wish more creators would provide or create? And the answers, 53% said teach something useful. Hi, that's us, service-based solopreneurs. Teach something tangible and useful. 42% said be more honest or vulnerable. So share when things are hard. Share a lesson you learned. Don't gatekeep it and make us feel like you just literally run this perfect business. You have the perfect life. You've got the perfect life, work-life balance. Like, when you show up and you're like, I'm struggling, or I struggled, or this is my learning arc, right? People love that. What do you wish creators would do more of? Stop chasing trends was 36%. Another 36%, share more failures and not just wins. So that falls along with the 42% of being more honest or vulnerable. And another 36%, I know there's 3 36s in a row. Don't ask me. I didn't do this, but it's true. Post less often, but higher quality. Oof, I love that one. So listen, trends can be fun, but it's not a strategy to grow. Teaching honesty and, focused, quality, purposeful posting, those are the growth levers, in my opinion. Myth number 5, and this is our last one. If content drains you, you just got to push through and try harder. Sounds like my nightmare, basically. A line from the report that they shared that I loved, somebody said, ask yourself this. Did making this piece of content give me energy, or did it take it away? And then stop making the content that drains the life out of you and double down on what lights you up. So you guys, you're allowed to choose a format that fits your energy and still grow. For many of my clients, that's carousels or it's talking head reels, because we have so many different types of consumers and learners out there. I don't make it a secret that I love carousels. I love making them, but I also love consuming them. I want to swipe on my own time, read at my pace, save it if it really is something I don't want to forget. Reels kind of overwhelm my nervous system a little bit. I'm not going to lie. And it's hard to keep up. And so I prefer carousels. But I know there's people who love reels. So I teach and preach, having a mix of all of it. But I do not believe that if content is draining the life out of you, that you should push harder. I think you should find a good solution, even if that means somebody else doing it for you. So yeah, guys, those are the quick myths, and we busted them. So here's the recap. Myth, long intros hook people. The truth, slow intros and scripted vibes make people leave. So lead with the answer. Try leading with the answer and getting to the point immediately and see how that goes. Myth, perfect, polished accounts bring in the followers. That's not true. Usefulness is going to win. Remember, that was the 73% one, and the next one down was like in the 20s. So people want useful content. So be helpful and then worry about the quality. Myth, you're losing followers because you don't post enough. Praise be, huzzah, this is not true. The truth is that people leave when they feel like you're being fake or salesy. And we're not going to do that. We're definitely not going to roll that way. The myth is trends are the strategy, but the truth is teaching, being honest, sharing failures, and focusing on quality content over volume is going to be the winner every time. Myth, if the content drains you, just grind harder. No, the truth is choosing formats that give you energy, that's what's going to be sustainable to you. And that's where you're going to win every time. So reading this report for me felt like a nice little, you're not crazy. And if ManyChat is creating a report and the name of it was algorithm fatigue, I mean, that in and of itself tells me that, oof, we are far from alone in feeling that vibe. But I hope these numbers helped you. I hope that there's some insights that make you feel a little more grounded or a little more free and showing up exactly, as who you are and sharing useful content. If you want help turning this data into an easy weekly plan, with templates or feedback or accountability, so you're not guessing your way to success, this is exactly what we do inside the Content Coven. My membership will help you build a repeatable system so you can show up consistently without turning content into a full-time job. So if you're curious, come hang out with us. I'll put a link in the show notes. And that's today's episode. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope to see you on next week's episode of the Creative Bodega podcast. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on the Creative Bodega podcast. If you love this episode, please be sure to share it with a fellow solopreneur who could use a little content creation inspiration. And hey, don't forget to check out the show notes for any resources I mentioned on the episode to help you create content that feels easy and actually gets you results. If you want even more Canva and content tips, head over to my website, thecreativebodega.com, or find me on Instagram under the same name. Until next time, keep creating, keep showing up, and most importantly, try and have a little fun with your content. I'll see you on the next episode.